Who was the richest man in the Bible? Have you ever pondered this question? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's not a merchant, a trader, or a tax collector. It's a king, and not just any king, but King Solomon, the son of David, who reigned over the United Kingdom of Israel around the 10th century BCE. Solomon's name is synonymous with wisdom, but he was also known for his staggering wealth and prosperity. He lived an opulent lifestyle, embarked on grand building projects, and commanded a legendary fleet of ships trading with distant lands. His wealth wasn't just from his kingdom's coffers. He received tribute from neighboring nations, adding to his riches. Solomon's wealth and wisdom were so renowned that leaders from other nations sought to meet him, hoping to learn from his wisdom. So let's delve deeper into the life of this wealthy and wise king. King Solomon wasn't just rich, he was extraordinarily wealthy. His wealth was so immense that it was almost beyond comprehension. The sources of his wealth were as diverse as they were abundant. Solomon's wealth came primarily from the tribute paid by neighboring nations. His reign was marked by peace and stability, which allowed him to cultivate relationships with surrounding kingdoms. These nations in turn paid him tribute, contributing to his vast fortune, but tribute wasn't his only source of income. Solomon was also known for his legendary fleet of ships. These weren't just any ships, they were grand vessels that sailed the seas, trading with distant lands. From Ophir they brought back gold, silver, ivory, apes and peacocks, adding to the king's treasury and further enhancing his reputation for opulence. And Solomon's wealth wasn't just hoarded, it was put to use. He lived an opulent lifestyle, certainly, but he also embarked on grand building projects that showcased his wealth and power. The most famous of these was the first temple in Jerusalem, an architectural marvel that stood as a testament to Solomon's prosperity. Built with the finest materials and skilled craftsmanship, it was a symbol of his reign and a beacon of his wealth. But Solomon's wealth wasn't just about material possessions. He was also a man of great wisdom, which was as much a part of his wealth as his gold and silver. For Solomon, wisdom was more than just a personal attribute. It was a governing principle. It guided his decisions, shaped his policies, and influenced his relationships. So, when we think about Solomon's wealth, we need to see it in its full context. It wasn't just about the gold, the silver, or the grand buildings. It was also about the wisdom he possessed and the wise way in which he ruled his kingdom. But what was the secret to Solomon's wealth? It wasn't just about money, it was also about wisdom. Solomon wasn't just a king with a golden touch, he was also known for his wisdom, which was as vast as his fortune. Solomon's wisdom was legendary, a gift bestowed upon him by God himself. When offered anything he desired, Solomon chose not gold or long life, but wisdom. This choice was well received by God, who blessed him with not only wisdom, but also wealth and honor beyond any king before or after him. This wisdom wasn't hidden away in a royal court. It was as public as the grand structures that dotted his kingdom. Solomon was known to solve disputes with insightful judgment, his decisions often leaving people in awe. One such famous tale tells of two women claiming to be the mother of a child. Solomon, in his wisdom, suggested to cut the child in half, knowing that the real mother would rather give the child up than see him harmed. His judgment in this case revealed the true mother, earning him further respect and admiration. His wisdom didn't just benefit his own people. It was so renowned that leaders and rulers from other nations sought his counsel. They traveled great distances, bringing gifts of gold, spices, and precious stones, contributing to his immense wealth. The Queen of Sheba, for instance, visited Solomon to test his wisdom with riddles and left impressed by his discernment and understanding. Solomon's wisdom also extended to the natural world. He spoke of trees, from the cedar in Lebanon to the hyssop growing out of the wall. He also spoke of animals, birds, reptiles, and fish. This profound understanding of the natural world showed a king who was not only wealthy and wise, but also curious and observant. His wisdom wasn't just intellectual, it was practical, instructive, and moral. It was the wisdom that guided him in governance, in decision-making, and in leading his people towards prosperity. So Solomon's wealth wasn't just about gold and silver, it was also about wisdom and understanding. Solomon's reign was a period of great prosperity and cultural achievement in ancient Israel, but what is his legacy today? King Solomon's legacy is as vast and deep as his wisdom, reaching far beyond the borders of ancient Israel and touching the corners of our modern world. His story has transcended centuries, serving as a parable of prosperity and wisdom that continues to inspire people today. The tales of Solomon's wealth and wisdom are not mere historical accounts. They have served to shape our understanding of prosperity, wealth, and wisdom. His life has become a metaphor for success, a beacon of hope for those who seek to rise above their circumstances and achieve greatness. However, Solomon's legacy is not just about his wealth. Solomon was not only a king, but also a philosopher, a poet, and a sage. His wisdom is preserved in the biblical books of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon, which are revered as some of the most profound pieces of literature in human history. These texts offer insights into human nature, morality, and the meaning of life, showing us that true wealth and success are not just about accumulating riches, but also about developing wisdom and understanding. Moreover, the legacy of Solomon's wisdom has found its way into our everyday expressions. Phrases such as "a wise man learns from the mistakes of others" and "there is nothing new under the sun" are based on Solomon's teachings, reminding us of the timeless wisdom that he embodies. His story also teaches us about the dangers of wealth and power. Despite his wealth and wisdom, Solomon made mistakes, succumbing to the trappings of power and wealth. This part of his story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that wealth and power can lead to downfall if not handled with wisdom and humility. So the story of Solomon isn't just about wealth. It's also about wisdom, understanding, and the pursuit of a prosperous life. His legacy challenges us to redefine our perceptions of prosperity, urging us to seek wisdom and understanding just as eagerly as we pursue financial success. So, who was the richest man in the Bible? It was King Solomon. Indeed, his wealth was not merely a measure of his gold and silver, but also a testament to his wisdom and prosperity. King Solomon, a ruler of the United Kingdom of Israel in the 10th century BCE, amassed immense wealth not just from his kingdom but also from the tributes of neighboring nations. But Solomon's true wealth lay in his wisdom. His understanding was so profound that leaders and rulers from distant lands sought his counsel. His wisdom, paired with his wealth, allowed him to undertake grand building projects, including the first temple in Jerusalem, and command a legendary fleet of ships that traded with far-off lands. And remember, wealth isn't just about money, it's also about wisdom and understanding. So next time you think about wealth, remember the story of King Solomon, the richest man in the Bible.